I hate to break it to the audience, but the reality is that my parents have no interest in paying for my shit. So I wish y'all were right and I was wrong.
Yeah.
I would have had 10 times more than what I have, but I buy my own stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Welcome to the Bombay journey. Harsh, how are you?
I'm really well.
मुझे पता चला आप भारी introvert हो.
I think introvert in some aspects, but I think in some aspects I'm also outgoing.
Yeah.
So it just depends on
The day.
the people, really, the environment of the outing, or that kind of.
Yeah.
So, see, I actually really enjoy talking to new people.
Yeah.
So I love the intimacy of conversation. I love to get to know new people. I just don't like large crowds, because I just feel like my personality can get a bit lost in
That happens.
because I don't see myself as an entertainer. I see myself as just a regular guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
तो देखो भाई, बॉम्बे जर्नी का क्या उसूल है ना कि मुंबई की जो एरियाज हैं और जहाँ की आपकी कोई कहानी रहेगी ना, तो उसको ऐसे आप बीच में रोक के बता सकते हो.
ठीक है.
तो अभी हम कार्टर रोड पे हैं, तो कार्टर रोड की कोई कहानियाँ?
Carter Road, so I actually have only shifted here for the past 1 year. I used to live in Juhu with my parents.
Correct.
And after the first wave of coronavirus, I realized that I wanted my own space and I wanted to live by myself and find a place. So I had only 2 prerequisites for my broker. One was I need to live in Bandra, and 2 is I want to be right on the ocean. Perfect. So that leaves you with 2 options only, Carter Road or Bandstand. And went with Carter Road in the end, and I'm very thrilled with the location of
ये कैसे किया आपने? मतलब you had to move out. ये कहाँ से आता है? ये क्योंकि Indian households में जो हमारी public देख रही है ना, उनको ज़्यादा जमता नहीं है. तो ऐसा पापा क्या बोलेंगे वाली बात आ जाती है ना.
Yeah, no, so I think it's important to make decisions for yourself. And your happiness is very important, especially during that time when everybody was so anxious and uncertain.
Nice. And how's it been?
Brilliant. I've had Ray released after I moved in, did really well. And AK vs AK released when I was kind of finalizing the place and stuff. So it's been amazing, I've had 2 films come out and that people have really liked.
So I mean, Mumbai की journey आपके लिए क्या है? मतलब where did you start? What do you remember as the area that you're fond of?
Well, I grew up in Juhu.
Correct.
So that's where my family home is. And I spent 29 years there.
Perfect.
I lived in America for 4 years. Where that was college though. But Juhu was always my home.
Perfect.
And for me, if I had Bandra is the best place to live in Bombay in my opinion. Just because there's a lot to do in Bandra. There's a lot of places to eat at.
Perfect.
Bandra is one of the only places in Bombay where you can walk. You can walk from your house to a restaurant, to a bar, to a gym, to a cafe, to a movie theater. Everything is walking distance.
That's very true.
And I just the thing that I miss most from other cities when I travel is that in Bombay we can't really walk to places. We have to sit in our cars or in public transport or whatever.
I saw some nice photos of yours on Bandstand and like.
Yeah. So I have 2 routes that I come down from my house, which you were just at, and if you go right, you walk across the sea, and then you take a right to where Carter's Blue and all those food joints are, and then you go into Pali Hill. Perfect. You go up where Baskin Robbins are.
Sundar jagah.
Yeah, and then you go up Alam's, and then you go towards Ranbir's house and Gulzar Saab's house and Rakesh Mehra's house, and that whole hill. So I do my incline.
So Nargis Dutt Road and all of those things.
Yeah, and then the other path is what we're doing now. Is you get out of my house, take a left on the whole seafront, pass Otters Club, make a left and go towards Bandstand.
तो चेंबूर वेंबूर का भी आपके रूट्स होते हैं नहीं?
Yeah, my dad grew up there.
आपका कुछ ऐसा जाने
when I was born, we had already shifted to Juhu. So Sonam was actually born there. But Riya and I think were kind of in this house.
नहीं, since you speak of Riya, मतलब आपके घर में ऐसे not the Bandra one, the Juhu one. Right. This one though, even your sister even has a ice cream, a bunch of flavors also.
Yeah, really good.
Really good ones. I like really 1 or 2 really well. And there's Sonam, of course, and then there's your father, everybody else. Right. How is it like to be chilling in this like talent pool? Of course, you are also there, but like, what are conversations like?
I don't really discuss work with Riya and Sonam too much, to be very honest. My dad and I work a lot.
Yeah.
Because we're We did AK versus AK together. We're doing Thar together.
Yes.
And I've also produced the film.
Arey wah.
Yeah. And so...
Is this your first production?
Yeah, it's my first one.
Arey wah, yeah. Congrats.
Thank you.
Good stuff, man.
And so we were kind of talking work and talking shop a lot, and we talk about the craft and stuff. So yeah, so I but I've always been a very individualistic person. I like to do things my way, and I have a certain belief system, and I have my dislikes and likes, and I've always been quite clear about those things. So I just kind of follow where my own intuition takes me.
नहीं सही है ना, ऐसी होना भी चाहिए.
Absolutely.
I was looking at you and I was remembering this time when I looked at my wife and said this role in Spotlight.
Yeah.
It seems like him only. मतलब मेरे को लगता है ऐसे आदमी रहेगा.
Yeah.
Genuinely आज मिलके ऐसा लग ही नहीं रहा.
That's so interesting, because I think क्या होता है कि people don't know too much about me, about Harsh. So when I do AK versus AK, they assume that he must be like that only. But then when I do Ray, they're like, no, he must be like this. You know? But actually, I'm neither like the character in AK versus AK, because character in AK versus AK is attention seeking, over the top. I'm not like that at all. I'm actually quiet. I go under the radar. And in Ray, the character's very self-involved and narcissistic and lacks empathy for others and can't see beyond himself really. And he's very conscious about the way society perceives him to be. But if I was that conscious, I would not have done the kinds of films that I've done. Yeah. So
you're not a big car or a bike head?
I love cars. Yeah. I know how to ride a bike also because I learned from Irzia. Yes. So I do have a bike, but I don't really use it. But I really love cars, but unfortunately, I don't really drive myself in Bombay because there's a lot of traffic and it's hard.
Yeah, look at that.
So, but so when I lived in California, I had my own car. Yeah. And because there you need to drive everywhere, right? And so I can drive. I'm a good driver and stuff. And at some point, I'll get a car for myself that I want to drive, and then maybe take it out late at night or early in the morning when there's less traffic and time it really. But with the amount of expenses that one has and the amount of priority expenses, buying a car which was basically going to be like a toy that you'll use sometimes and not use sometimes, it's really not worth it. Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'm a Lamborghini guy basically. Really? Yeah.
Which one?
So I would either go for the Huracan, Spider, and if I don't have that kind of money, then I would get an old, like a pre-owned Gallardo Spider. Nice. Right? Because the premium on new cars is too much. Yeah. And I don't believe in buying new cars actually. So you can get like a good condition used Gallardo for about 1 crore 90 lakhs as opposed to a new Lamborghini is like 3 plus.
नजर रखे हो ऐसा लगता है price wise पता.
Yeah, I'm somebody that always likes to know how much things are worth and what I need to do in order to make those dreams a reality. That's the way that I been able to get this place and get all my clothes and shoes that I collect and my films and everything is until you manifest it, nothing happens. True. You have to start thinking of how much will the down payment be, how much will my monthlies be. Yeah. Otherwise, and as opposed to, I hate to break it to the audience, but the reality is that my parents have no interest in paying for my shit. So I wish y'all were right and I was wrong. Yeah. I would have had 10 times more than what I have, but I buy my own stuff. Yeah. So, believe it or not. Same. It's a sad reality of my life. Otherwise, you don't think I would have had 5 cars as opposed to the one.
Spider bhi la, ek ye bhi la, तीनों लगा नीचे.
You don't think I would have had 30 watches or, it doesn't work like that, man. So
it's a good thing. Something that Indian parents do is like these hardcore Indian values that they're conditioned with. They'll so in.
My parents will buy me a gift every once in a while if there's a bill that I don't really have the capacity to pay in a certain moment in time. I'm sure they'll be there. Yeah. But that's a occasional call. It's not.
Nalka khula nahi hai.
Yeah. It's not that.
Bharo pani aage badho.
So, want to do art house films, but want to buy a Lamborghini also is a bit of a
juggle.
It's tough. Yeah. If I was doing maybe some more mainstream stuff, I would have had it. But I'd rather be proud of the work.
नहीं, my producer today said कि यार इनको पूछना जरूर कि जो फिल्में उठाई हैं क्या सोच के उठाई, मतलब क्योंकि you could have had the whole platter, like we were speaking, But you said, "Na, ye karega, ye karega, ye karega." So what were you thinking when you were picking these?
Simple, yeah. One is do these films represent the kind of films that I like to watch and I want to, as an extension of myself, right? Your choices are who you are, you define who you are. Number two is the template is always, I can't promise whether you're going to love or hate something I do, but always what I can promise is that it's going to be new. It's not going to feel regenerated or redone. So that's the
goal.
That's the goal. Yeah, that's the goal. It's funny, but right now I've been ideating on what clothes to make.
Huh?
So I want to make clothes. Like that's something I really want to do.
Kya baat hai?
Yeah. So I've been using my writing ability or whatever to kind of ideate on ideas for garments.
So cool.
Yeah. So that's what.
Have you designed something already, or?
Well, I have basically just ideas on my iPhone notes.
Yeah.
And I need a graphic designer basically to kind of work with me and bring my ideas to life.
Yeah.
And also to make clothes, you also need investment. You need money. You need because you have to have a team, right? You have to have somebody that will source materials.
Correct.
You have to have a graphic designer that's going to open their MacBook and be a genius and be able to take your ideas and visualize them and show you references. You need to eventually have an outlet or have somebody to set up a Shopify
or Master G.
Sorry, what's
like a Master G, like a tailor.
Like a tailor, yeah.
Like a real deal chalk like him.
So you need all of these. So I spoke to Anand about it and stuff. So he said that the best way to do it is to self-fund it, because if somebody funds you, then they have expectations. You might not want to fulfill those expectations, you know. So I'm gonna hopefully get to a point where I have enough financial security myself to make clothes the way that I want them without thinking about who's gonna buy them, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll do something very limited, just to kind of see. I want to do it to prove it to myself. I don't want to do it
for the heck of it.
For the heck of it, you know.
Neat.
So that's what I've been. But yeah, I want to write films also at some point, you know.
काफी कुछ है करने का.
I'm very ambitious. Laundry list. I'm not married to that I'm only an actor and I'm an actor for the rest of my life is too unpredictable.
That's true.
You can find happiness in many ways.
Yeah.
And you should let life surprise you sometimes, I guess.
That's true.
So
I'm a director. We started this for the fuck of it.
Oh really? How long has the show been live now?
2 years.
And I'm sure it's doing amazingly well.
Yeah, it's doing well. I mean, we didn't know it would do like this.
But isn't that you must have so much satisfaction from
it's very happy.
The fact that you had an idea and you started something and now it's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
That's life.
So thank you for everybody that way I really like the audiences, you know, they like, and they comment, and when you read those comments they're like,
audiences are the most beautiful people, because actually if you think about them, they don't really need to engage with us.
Yeah.
Nobody's putting a gun to their head saying, you know what I mean? It's their choice.
Yeah.
So I think anybody that gives you that time deserves a lot of love, even if they hate you, you know.
Thank you.
And so when I see something negative, and that is coming from a constructive place, I like to read it.
Yeah.
I like to think that, man, you know, this guy really has a point and he sees things in an interesting way. But if somebody's hating on you just for the sake of it, then it's not doing anybody any good. It's not doing them good or you good.
You read the comments?
I read everything.
Yeah?
I read everything.
Anyway, so Bhavesh I actually quite liked.
Yeah.
I don't know why people didn't like it, you know, that film.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people loved it actually. It didn't make money. But I mean, you look at some of the films that make money and you know, you wouldn't want to watch them again.
That's
but
true.
I think it's I've always said this, that a film, audience's desire to see a film determines how well it does.
Yeah.
Not always the quality of a movie. I can name so many films. Bhavesh, Joshi, Udaan, Delhi 6, you have Dev D, you have Gangs of Wasipur 2. You have so many films that have not really hit the box office, but become cult films.
Rewatched.
Yeah, and become cult films, you know. So you're not going to remember what the Shawshank Redemption made at the box office now, and you don't even care.
Yeah.
People talk about the film fondly, you know. So for me, with Bhavesh Joshi, I still have people messaging me wanting a sequel.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, is there a sequel?
Depends on Vikram.
Did you explore a bunch of Bombay that you didn't know about during Bhavesh?
Yeah.
We
shot in Dharavi. We shot in. So Bhavesh is really beautiful in a way, because if you're a Mumbaikar, it really encapsulates the length and breadth of the city. You go from Sikku working in the tall buildings of Lower Parel to the slums in Dharavi, to the corporate
pipeline.
offices, to the pipeline in Marol, to the government officials' offices where files are collecting dust, to police stations and decaying walls of apartments in Malad where Priyanshu and my character live together. And it's a beautiful film. I mean, there's really nothing. I mean, to be a part of that, I'm very lucky, honestly. And I think for people that really love films, it's a film for people that love films.
Yeah.
You know. So
I've been told you escape, like मतलब आप निकल जाते हो कहीं पे मतलब लेडी पे टाइप और फिर घूम के आते हो तो कि कहाँ जाते हो?
why? You know, it keeps changing, but I didn't travel much during COVID actually.
Yeah.
I was mostly in Bombay only. I keep going to London actually because it's a home away from home.
Yeah.
So I went there in September for 2 months. Came back in November, but
ये तो बोल के निकले होंगे ना घर पे कि भाई दीदी के पास जा रहा है ऐसे टाइप.
exactly.
है ना?
I don't really just take off like that. But what I do is I like to take off after shoots.
Yeah. तब तो जरूरत भी रहती होगी भाई.
Yeah.
अब ऐसा थार वार आप किधर रेगिस्तान में शूट करें? कहाँ शूट
that
करें?
was tough, man.
हाँ.
Oh my god. We shot in some really, like, when you think about Rajasthan,
Yeah.
in Bollywood films, you think about palace resorts, you think about weddings, you think about the royalty, the opulence of Rajasthan.
Correct.
We were not interested in that. We were exploring the harshness of the desert, the harshness of the sun, the decaying faces of of people that have been there and seen the desert for years and decades. So this is it's a Western noir. It's a new genre for Indian films. It's but it lends itself perfectly to this particular story actually.
So cool.
And,
that light is on your face.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. And yeah, man. So we shot in. This is the kind of film where you would have to wake up at 4:30 to be on location at 7. You know, because the travel was 2 hours.
So you're meandering through desert, sand dunes,
and then suddenly you'll see one van somewhere maybe, and you know, if you want to go to the bathroom, you have to travel 10-15 minutes to take a shit or take a piss.
Yeah, so, I know. I mean.
So yeah, man. When you sometimes you want to do a passion project, you just gotta go for it. You know.
तो ऐसा इन्वेस्ट करते समय फटती है क्या थोड़ी बहुत कि भाई क्या होएगा कुछ आइडिया नहीं टाइप?
Investing in
like a film, like you're producing.
I don't see, bro. Honestly, I don't think about the audience when I make something. Because I'm not here to please everyone. Right? I'm here to do what I want and hope that people like it, right? Because in that process, what happens is you end up being true to yourself.
Yeah.
And this is self-expression, right? It's not consumerism. So if you're true to yourself and you're not dishonest, the most important thing is to be honest and genuine in your approach, in your execution, you know, and then wherever it has to land, it'll land. Like, for example, I didn't think that people would like Spotlight as much as they did. I thought people would find it very strange.
Yeah.
I didn't think that people would talk about my role in AK versus AK at all. You know, so think people will surprise you. We have a very, very intelligent audience that has been almost underestimated.
Yeah.
India is a country full of very, very bright people. And all sorts of people. All kinds, like varieties of people. We're one of the most multicultural and diverse countries. So why would you make one type of film?
That's true.
It just makes no sense to me, you know. So I would, with what I've said, if it's so multicultural and diverse and there are people from all sorts of demographics, you make what you want and it'll find whoever it's supposed to, right?
Correct.
You can make a masala entertainer and you have a loyal audience for that.
Yes.
You can make a Western noir thriller like Thar and all the kids, all the young people, right, that don't like Bollywood films and want to watch Western films.
Yeah.
I want to make films for them. I want to make films for the new generation.
Nice.
Of kids like me that are like, you know what, it's time for something new. It's time for a change.
Yeah. You're not very big on social. I tried doing a pose exactly like you do. It's the most straight face I've ever seen. It's just like, ऐसा खड़ा होके photo खींचा है, आगे बढ़ो.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a little bit of a pretense now with posing. So
सिर्फ खड़े हो जाते हो.
So why pretend, man? Just exist.
थोड़ा smile तो कर देने का.
Smiling now because you're making me smile, but smiling should be candid now.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be
forced.
Yeah. So
you're pretty big on your kicks, man. I mean,
yeah.
What are you wearing today?
So this is a pair of neutral grey Jordan 1s.
Wow.
But they've been aged by a custom shoe guy in Delhi to make them look like they're worn in and old and vintage.
Yes. It's an interesting dunya hai puri, na?
Yeah, it's a whole world, yeah.
Does this happen? Like, what is this? What would he be? Sadhu bhai ke saath discussion hota hai? Isn't
Anand?
Yes, Anand, a big sneakerhead himself.
Yeah, he actually really was the one that influenced me, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
So क्या खाना आपको सबसे ज़्यादा पसंद है वैसे?
I actually like Halim, Nihari.
Fuck, I just got Halim from Hyderabad.
Really? Yeah. So Halim, Nihari, biryani, kebabs, paya, pilau. That's my palate. I prefer that more to butter chicken and tandoori chicken and all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm more Hyderabadi, I think, and Afghani than North Indian. So I could eat that stuff every day. But I also love American food, so like pancakes and eggs and waffles, so either Hyderabadi or then American.
Yeah.
Those are my what I crave, and then I also like Asian.
Perfect.
So that's my
it's everything basically. Foodie ho, such hai.
Yeah, and my whole mantra is to be very active.
Yeah.
And burn a lot of calories.
ठीक है.
And be more flexible about your food choices and not really restrict yourself too much, you know. This is my Masi's house actually.
Arey wah.
And
I've always wondered whose house it is. It's such a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's stunning, yeah. And then obviously Shah Rukh sir's house is down.
Of course.
Salman sir's house we passed.
Yes.
And I think at one point and Farhan and Zoya also live here.
हाँ क्या? मेरे को नहीं पता था.
Farhan and Zoya also live here.
आपके घर के पीछे आमिर साहब रहते हैं.
Amir sir used to live in Frida Apartments, which is on the same sea strip where I live.
Yes.
But he's moved to back to his old house, which is opposite Candies.
Oh.
Marina Apartments.
Interesting.
So when I was looking at apartments, I looked at some here also. But then what I found was just, you know, I prefer Carter Road because Bandstand can become a little touristy.
Yes.
But Carter Road is mainly just residential. You know.
I mean, Carter Road is more Mumbai, ना? वहाँ पर public अपनी आती है. मुंबई की public chill करने आती है.
This is from everywhere else.
This is everyone. So, are you, apart from being a foodie, do you cook?
No, yeah. I have a girlfriend now, and I want to learn how to cook. Yeah, I really.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But street food नहीं करते आप ज़्यादा?
No, I do, man. I love Elko.
Yeah.
I love the Pani Puri and the Pav Bhaji from there. And also around Juhu, not here, but around Juhu, there's a lot of great chaat guys.
जो पृथ्वी के बाहर वाले जैसे?
Prithvi, and also just 7 number road, 8 number road. Outside Sarkari Bhandar, there's a lot.
Yeah?
There's that chaat guy outside Sarkari Bhandar, and then street food, and then obviously there's Muhammad Ali Road and stuff, you know. So I've really I've had that kind of food. Then here also you have Ayaz and all.
Yeah, Ayaz and Kareem's, and these are
great
good
rolls. Man, don't you just love this part? Like, there's something so beautiful about this part of Bombay, man.
Yeah.
I just love this whole Bandra strip. I just think for me it's nostalgia also. Yeah, so many memories, you know.
तो मतलब अपने buddies के घर ही chill करते थे ऐसा?
Yeah, like everybody's from one house to the other, one bar to the other. You know, after parties. During COVID for 2 years, I thought I was never going to come back, man. I thought my life was over.
Yeah, no, I feel sad also because a lot of places shut, yaar.
But you know, that is very sad, but I think now that things are back to normal, there's going to be a new kind of wave of new places opening.
True.
Whatever goes up must come down and vice versa.
Boy.
You know, so look at how beautiful that is.
That's why I kept going, you know, that's why I didn't stop at the house.
But look at how stunning, I see this this is amazing, man.
मुंबई की बारिश की बात नहीं की हम लोग.
I'm not a big fan of the monsoons here, bro.
No, you don't like it?
No, man. I'll tell you why. Because I just don't like waking up to gloom.
Yeah.
You know, I like the sun. I like the brightness. I like the sunshine. So, an off rain here and there is nice. But for a city to be rained out for 3-4 months is like, that's where I travel. That's because I love October, November, December, Jan, Feb. March is also nice.
Yeah.
It's hot. But April, May is fine. June is time to leave.
How did you like this?
That was great. I hope you liked it, yeah?
It was interesting, dude. I mean, for me, it's always about meeting people and understanding their stories, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to be different. Otherwise, they're not real people. Good
Great.
stuff. Thank you. All the
Cheers.
best for the film.
Thank you. Great. Okay. I'll see you.
This was the Bombay Journey. Sid signing off.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.